My name is Keshav, and today I wanted to introduce ActiveRecordAnonymizer. ActiveRecordAnonymizer fakes your ActiveRecord model attributes so that you can have a separate set of fake values while keeping the original values intact. So to show or to demonstrate how it works, I have created an anonymized blog site. Let me first run. So I'm using cd to seed my data, so I'm going to first run cd seed, and that's going to create 10 users with 10 posts for it. Now that I have the data seeded, let me run the server. I have a server here. So we have users and we have posts. We don't have comments yet, but we're going to come to that. So we have users and we have posts. Now we want to anonymize first name, last name, and email so that when we look at the UI, we don't see the actual original values. To do that, we will first come and install the gem. So I'm going to do bundle ActiveRecord Anonymizer. So while this gem is getting installed, I'm going to show you what are the things that we can do. So we can anonymize specific attributes. I'm not going to say anonymize, it's a little bit difficult for the tongue. So it fakes specific attributes. It also provides custom faking logic for specific attributes. You can also provide custom fake columns, and you can also encrypt, but that requires real 7+, and it's environment dependent. So you can have the faking logic in development while the production actually shows the original data however you want it. So let's go back to our Rails app. The gem is installed. Now we need to install the initializer, so I'm gonna come here and copy this command. This is going to create an initializer for us. So now we have an anonymizer initializer. So environment by default is development, so it'll only run on development. If skip update is set to true, it will skip updating the fake columns. So for example, if your fake column value is fake, so in your when you next update the original column, the respective anonymized column will still stay the same. It will not change. You can also add an alias to the original column so that you can refer the original columns. By default it is false. You can also set the column name as whatever you want to be, the alias column name. So yeah, those are the changes. So now we're going to actually fake our attributes. So let's take a look at user.rb. We have first name, last name, and email, and we want to fake these values. So what we need to do is we need to generate a migration for it. So I'm going to copy this command. So this is a generator that generates the custom anonymized columns that we might need. So first name, last name, we also need email, so I'm going to add email here. So yeah, this is going to generate a migration with these columns. So these columns are the ones that will actually store your fake value while the original columns are going to keep your original values. Let me migrate this. So once you've migrated, you also need to add this following to your model. Let's go and do that. So that, yeah. Let me restart the server because I've added an initializer. Okay, so let's go back to our site and click on new user. So I'm going to do Keshav @example.com. So yep, although these values do not make any sense because in the under the root we use faker. I think it's lorem word, so that's why we get all of these random words. I can edit it. While editing it also, it doesn't show me. Let's say I change something like this. Yep, those values are updated, and yeah, But if I go back, I see that the existing values do not exist because those columns have not been populated yet. So ActiveRecordAnonymizer provides you a rake task that can help you populate this, right? So if I can copy this, let me come here. So if I run this, it's going to populate only user. However, if you, for example, you have multiple classes with the anonymized methods, you can just populate all, and it's going to populate all of the models together. So it says, yep, anonymizing columns for all models done. So let's go back. Let's take a look. Yep, now all our models, all our records are showing fake values. However, there's a problem. Email does not make sense. If I actually had like a format validation on this would have failed because it doesn't make sense. So what we can do is we can anonymize columns separately. So I can let me do this. I can do something like this. So I can add custom anonymization logic to it. So what I can do is faker name, I hope I'm correct, and that's going to do it for it. For the last thing, I want to do something else. I want to use record and say name or last and then record.id. Now for the email part, let's do email with record. Why don't you record? So I'm going to do this. Faker internet dot email. I think, yeah. For this one, let's do something else. Let's just add a string and nothing else. Yeah, let's just do this. Let me create a new user, and original email @example.com. So we have the first name as anonymized, last name. Oh yeah, so the record wasn't ID wasn't available. So yeah, but I did get a better looking email now. But if I update it, yep, now I get the last name because during update the ID was available. So yeah, so now it's looking much better. The existing one do not make sense. I'm gonna rerun the populating task again so that I'll get better. Yes, these all are looking good. Let me run the console and see what happens if I do user.first.first name. So let me take user.first, and let's say I do user.first name, I get anonymized. Last name, I get anonymized values. But if I do user, I can see first name, last name, email, the original values. So you might say, or we might say that these values are not, like, we don't want to expose this even on console and want to be much more secure. So ActiveRecordAnonymizer provides active record encryption support as well, so that you can, all your anonymized attributes can also be updated or can also be encrypted. While along with that, I also want to show what happens if I set alias origin columns and this, right? Again, let me go back to the console again. If I do user.first name, I get this. But now that I have alias origin columns and the column name is original, I can do user.first.original first name, and that will give me the actual original values. And what happens with update? Let's take a look. So I have this value, right? Now you can see that this is fake value and these are fake values, right? If I update the values, This is simple test. The last name will not change because we have skipped update to the anonymized column. So while the original columns are getting updated, the anonymized columns are not getting updated. Uh, so yeah, that's helpful in case where you don't want the skip update to the update operation to run every time. So yeah, let's go to comment now, and let's say we want to anonymize content here. So let's say I want to anonymize content with, again I'm going to use faker. What should I use? Okay, let's do bank. What is it even? Since I don't know anything, I'm going to use some sentence, and I'm going to encrypt this. Yeah, just as a warning, this requires ActiveRecord encryption. So it needs Rails version needs to be 7 above, and you also need to have all of those encrypted columns in your credentials file, which I already have. So let me create a comment now. Oops, yeah. So I also need to generate the migration for it. So I'm gonna come back here and do this and run. Okay. Now let me create a comment. Say original comment user, and okay. The difference between this and the other one is that now this is encrypted. So if I do comment dot encrypted attributes, yep, the content is encrypted. That means if I do comment at first, all of these values are filtered. ActiveRecord encryption does fuzzy matching, so that means if you have any values attributes that starts with or ends with content are also getting filtered. So yeah, that's why, yeah, so your anonymized content and your content are both not exposed. So yeah, that's all. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to comment below. Also feel free to give it a star, use it in your projects, and if you face any issues, feel free to add or create new issues, or feel free to contribute as well. So yeah, thank you.